First off, I'd like to say thanks to everybody who has commented on my Valvoline Restore and Protect videos. And if you want to see that playlist, all you have to do is just click this right here and you'll go straight to that playlist just like that. Now, coming back to the comments here, I've extracted all the comments from the videos. And as you can see here, there is plenty of comments. I think there's 388 total, and for my channel size, that is for me, that is fantastic. This is a great response I think we got. And also within this 388 comments, I have pulled out the most ones that make sense in terms of like what it has done for the engine, letting people know exactly how it worked for them. So if anybody comes across this video, or if you just want to read all the comments from all my videos if you haven't seen them all, just click over to this highlighted comment section right here. Now, before we begin, I'd like to invite everybody, if you enjoy this enjoy this content, please subscribe to the channel. Always like my videos. And in fact, I just created a channel membership. If you really want to support the channel that way, for 99 cents a month, you can get these loyalty badges that I'm going to update and make new ones. I've made custom emojis already, but you get priority reply to comments, meaning that if you ask some questions in the comment, I will do some research and help you out. Like if you ask like what type of oil you might need or any other tool you might need, I can help you out with that. And you'll get priority on that. And that's what the tire pressure check for 99 cents a month. Now going to the fluid top off level for 199 a month, you get everything in the previous tier, plus you get members only shorts. I will be posting short videos from time to time that I think are entertaining and useful to people, and I think my members may like that. Not all my shorts will be members only, but there will be some that will. Now, if you step up to the biggest tier, which is the tune up, for $2.99 a month, you get everything that was in the tire pressure check, the fluid top off, and you're also going to get early access to my new videos. I will not have early access on all my new videos, but I will have early access on, I think, some very important and some interesting videos. So if you want to support the channel, please take a look at this, and I invite you to join the channel. Now, getting back here to the highlighted comments, um, just so you know, for example, if you see over here where it says click to view profile, whoever made this comment, you can actually just click this right here and it will carry you to their YouTube account if you want to see that. And also, if you go over here where it says view comment, it will carry you to the video that the exact comment came from. And you can do that. Click those same link on the page that has all the comments, which is this one that has the white body of down here at the bottom, but the highlighted text right here with the sort of light teal colored blue. You can also do it here. Now, and before we get down to the comments, I'd like to say one last time, if you want to contribute to this, in addition to the comments to the videos, I have also set up a Google Forms here. You can come here. I'll link all of this in the description. And all you have to do is just come here, and I want you to just talk about your experience with Valvoline Restore and Protect. Doesn't have to be anything extensive. You can just write like something like, "Oh, my oil consumption went down," or "My deposits went down," or "My oil quieted down and stopped making noise." I ran for 1,000 miles and I had to change my filter. It clogged my filter. It clogged my catalytic converter. Whatever, like actual happened from you using the oil. Not necessarily your opinion on the oil if you haven't used it, but if you've actually used it and it's something useful that the community needs to know, you put it right here. And I'm going to make a new tab in this spreadsheet for those comments to keep compiling all of these data points, because this is going to be how we're going to track this Valvoline Restore and Protect and see exactly how it performs in the real world. So far, I got to say, seems like it's performing quite well. So let's just go through some of these comments. We're not going to go through them all, but please do check this sheet out. This is quite interesting. First of all, the first one says I put some in 2 days ago. Flows like water. Basically, the Restore and Protect is thinner than the 5W30 Max Life. I think this is important just to say. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily going to say anything about the quality of what it does, but maybe somebody might see that the oil was thinner than they thought, but it'll still show that the oil works. So basically, it might be surprising, but don't think that if you see the oil thinner than you would think, that you're alone in that aspect. I mean, it doesn't mean a lot in terms of how it works, but I thought it was important to point that out. Um, Next comment said, "Huh, I've used it for 2 oil changes each time. The oil was a bit darker along with the filter element. No hard particles found in the filter. Seem to be cleaning things up. So basically, the darker oil would suggest that that's deposits being broke down, being put into suspension of the oil, and it's coming out as advertised. Now, let me show you some pictures here. I just checked my oil right before I made this video. This oil right here, this is Restore and Protect in my 2006 Colorado, and has about 800 miles on it. Now, what I have observed and read in the comments, if your engine is not that dirty, you may not really get any benefit from using this oil. Meaning that if your engine is not that dirty, you're not having the oil consumption. Just keep doing what you're doing, basically. Because this truck I got was well maintained before I got it. It was a fleet truck from up north, and I have changed the oil every 3 or 4 thousand miles since I've had it myself. And the proof is just how clean my oil is. And this here's Restore and Protect. Again, I don't. You can see how clear that is. And in fact, on the next picture here, I wiped it on the towel, the shop towel right here, and you can see the oil is still a nice like golden brown color, if you will. So again, one thing that I will say, one I repeat myself by saying, if you do not have any severe carbon buildup or oil consumption or something of that nature, you may not experience any um, benefit from this oil. And again, just keep doing what you're doing. You're already doing the right thing. This is me testing it in this vehicle, but again, I'm gonna put it in my 2010 Buick LaCrosse, and I know that engine is kind of dirty. So anyway, for now, I'm gonna keep pushing forward with the 2006 Colorado, and we're still gonna track it and see how that goes. Now, going back to the comment, I accidentally left this one here saying thanks for the data point. But anyway, it was a good data point. Let's see here. He says about this one right here says about any oil vapor passing to the PVC, getting past the valve sensor, deposit on the carbon on top of the valves. He mentioned that Valvoline said on their website that on top of the valves that this oil would help that. And in fact, I got some even better proof than that. I have a video queued up right here where a Valvoline engineer is actually addressing that question, and listen to what he says about the valve stems.
Another first from Valvoline.
Okay, so I've talked a lot on this channel about carbon buildup.
Mhm.
It's a hot topic. I go to OEMs, ask them, they tell me one thing. I go to my reviewers tell me something else. And then you guys have, I've seen this over the last couple of years. You had a product before that was doing some stuff with this carbon buildup, and now you have this new product, Restore and Protect. And looking at the details, it's not a miracle oil. It seems like you have to do multiple oil changes to get the
Mhm.
carbon buildup off of it. But walk me through this a little bit, because I'm interested in the idea that you have this engine that has carbon buildup on it. That's after top of the on top of what am I thinking, the injectors and things.
Mhm.
Um, and people have told me on this channel that it's a mechanical issue, that you have to have port injection and direct injection to go ahead and zap all that buildup. That's got to happen. But you're saying, hey, our oil can make the same ultimate goal of making that reduction in carbon buildup.
Yeah, so there's kind of two separate issues there. So you've got the carbon packing that gets around the ring and the combustion chamber, and that's primarily what the Restore and Protect product is focused on, is cleaning up any carbon deposits that get up around the ring lands. Which eventually, if you get those carbon deposits there, it can prevent the rings from spinning and functioning properly, which can then affect your compression, uh, cylinder wear. You push the chromium rings into the steel cylinder walls, you get wear and stuff there. So that product is really focused on cleaning up that carbon that's in the combustion chamber, around the ring lands, down in the crankcase and stuff. Now, the other topic you're kind of referring to, when you get into direct injection engines now versus the previous multi-point fuel injection engine. So with direct injection, you're injecting that fuel right into the cylinder itself, as opposed to being up in the intake runner like you're talking about before. So previously, any deposits that may have formed on the back of your intake valve as a result of your crankcase ventilation system, your PVC system. The gas would help wash that off the back of the intake valve. So in a direct injection engine, you don't have that. So you can have that carbon build up on the backside of the valve to the point where you don't even see the shape of the valve. It just becomes like a giant cone. um, so the restore and protect, I think, will help that some, because you're still getting some of that product back through the PVC system and back through the valves. But we primarily, I think, have focused that product on cleaning the combustion chambers and things like that. There's certain OEMs that are very, very prone to carbon buildup on the back of the valves, and Valvoline, in our professional product series, we actually have some specific cleaners and treatments and things that go in and dissolve and solubilize that intake valve deposit for the really, really bad cases. Now, again, restore and protect, I think, is still going to help that situation through the PVC system, but probably not as much as the direct contact you get with the splash system inside the crankcase, where you're cleaning the the rings and things like that.
And I think that's an interesting point.
All right, so you heard it right there from a Valvoline engineer that the restore and protect getting back through the PVC system will in fact help that carbon buildup on the back of the valve stem. Now, what does that mean? Not entirely for sure, but probably it would at least retard it or reduce it. Maybe it, when I say reduce, let me not say reduce it from moving further than it already is. And it may even like actually remove some of it. Who knows? But in any case, a lot of people that's experiencing lesser noise, better idling and things like that, um, it could in fact be attributed not only to piston ring being cleaned, but the valves being cleaned a bit or reduced from getting more carbon buildup on them as well. Pretty interesting stuff, I gotta say. Um, let's keep going here. Adam, this guy here, Adam Wing, has a really good, interesting case study. I believe he's a mechanic and he has an Ecotech. And he said he on his versa oil change, he sent this filter in the bypass at the 500-mile mark, meaning that this thing had a lot of carbon built up in it. So there's another thing that where to check that out at. And he said what else? He said he opened up his filter, it looked like sludgy grit. Um, and then somebody thought that his stuff was been neglected, but he said no, it had synthetic and changed every 4,000 miles. Or his first 60,000 unknown, the rest of the mileage was me. Had been using castor oil since 60,000 miles. So, what does that mean? Not entirely for sure, but at the same time, again, on a high mileage vehicle, depending on what terrain it's in and how you use it, you still may experience some buildup, even if you take care of it. But it, just like I said at the beginning of the video, if you have a well maintained video that's probably just a simple daily driver, you may not experience any, benefit from using Restore and Protect. But we don't really know that. But again, let's just keep reading. All right, so 500 miles. Let's see. This is another one about 500 miles. A lot of people are going to be talking about filters being. Okay, here's another good one. He did his first Restore and Protect on his 285K Ecotech. It has drastically improved compression, quiet down the noise and lifter, noisy lifter. Feels like it has more power. Think about it. You're only going to really, I ain't going to say you're going to get more power based on compression, just compression alone, because you will. But probably never know, his valves could have been cleaned a little bit as well. So maybe when I do my 2010 Buick LaCrosse, we'll take a look at the back of the valves with my endoscope and just see does it even help it at all. Not sure. Let's see here. Not sure how dirty inside the engine is. Some that change your oil filter after the first 500 or 1,000 miles. It removes heavy deposits. Now, what I meant to say about the heavy deposits. Here we go. So what I'm gonna do is though, I actually got my report back from what is it? Blackstone. And I'm not going to talk about that report just yet in this video. I'm going to save that for something else because I want to put that together with something else. But the point I want to make is that the solubles in it was like 0.2, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sample out of my truck in real time and send that sample in like this weekend. I'm going to do it now, and then I'm going to do it probably at like at the oil change interval. I thought I was going to wait at 1,500 miles, but I'm going to go ahead and do it this weekend. And I'm gonna do it again at the oil change interval, so that'll be 3 times to see would the solubles go up, because if it is, it still may still be cleaning my engine, but not enough to where like it changes my oil from light brown to dark very fast. So let me show you how I'm gonna do that. So here in this video right here, I ordered this kit here from Blackstone. This here is what they call their quick draw pump, and they send you, when you order it, they actually send you additionally two kits to return oil to, which makes sense, because if you bought the quick draw pump, you're going to be sending some oil in. But this thing is pretty cool. Basically, as you can see, I'm opening up the package. It has a tube in it, and it has the pump nicely packaged inside of that, nice and protected. Nice aluminum body on it. Feels pretty good and good, has good quality to it. So basically, you take the oil container and you just screw it right on the bottom of this thing here. I had a little trouble there in a second. I thought I had it at the right angle because I was trying to duck around my camera without hitting it. And then you connect this hose to it. This is going to take me a second here because for some reason this tape just couldn't come off. But I pulled my knife out and I cut it, and then I almost knocked my camera over here, as you'll see in a second. But I saved the day by grabbing the camera and keeping it from falling over. And so basically, as you can already surmise, that this tube here is going to be, I think that's where I hit the camera right there. This tube here is going to be connected to this pump. And basically, you just take this tube and slide it down through your oil, what is it? Where you check your oil at. You remove the oil checker, and you stick this down inside of that pipe, and basically you just pump some oil out just like that in real time. So you just stick the hose right in here. I believe you turn that little knob on the top just to tighten it down maybe, and just stick that right in, and you just give it some pumps just like that, and it'll fill up your sample valve just like that. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. All right, so let's just look at a few more of these comments here and talk about what else do we have here. Let's see this one here. Yeah, and you see a lot of stuff like this. Change the oil filter every 500 to 1,000 miles. Again, don't forget, I'm making this video so people who maybe have just ran across Restore and Protect may read this list here so they can see what has been said. So again, if you have a very dirty engine, yes, if you're going to change the Restore and Protect, just go ahead and probably buy you 3 oil filters right out the gate, so that way you can at least change your oil filters out. On that first oil change, you may need to change your oil filter out once, or maybe even twice, depending on just how dirty it is. Here's another interesting one here. This guy had an Acura here, and it clogged up his catalytic converter. There was another user that came right behind on actually the same day. Just this was early in the day. We look at the time and the date here. This next person get that catalytic converter clogged. This is in the Chevy Impala with the 3.6. So that's something to watch out for. Yeah, here's another person. Well, I guess now it's him replying to somebody else as well. But in other words, if you got a really dirty engine, you do want to monitor that oil. So what I would say, I'm not going to say my recommendation because I'm not going to recommend anything. I'm just going to tell you what I would do. What I would do is I would change the oil, Restore and Protect, and every 100 miles, I would check my oil just to see how dark it is. If it gets super dark after like 100 or 200 miles, I would go ahead and change that filter, because oil should not get dark. I'm talking about, shouldn't get dark that fast unless you have a lot of stuff in that engine that's being broken down. At least that's my opinion and how I would think about it. In other words, it's better to be safer than sorry and have to go through the fact of having to deal with a clogged catalytic converter somehow. There has been people that said they've used CataClean with some success. And again, I made a whole nother video on using the right type of gas. Believe it or not, if you better check what kind of gas you're running in your car, because a lot of times, especially something with 6 cylinders, need at least 89 octane, if not premium. Um, let's see here. Here's another one that cited a patent and talks about a few things. I'm going to look this patent up. That might be one you might see on the channel soon, because again, I'm reading another patent now, so I'll have another patent video coming out. It's not really about what's in the patent, but it's just trying to learn the process of making base oils, and I'm just using that patent just as the reference. That's just it. So that'll be coming pretty soon. And yeah, we're at the end of the highlighted comments here, and again, read through these comments. I've distilled them down to, I think, the ones that are the most relevant to if you are looking to getting into this oil and looking at, again, what people on my channel are saying, and what I see is that the comments here agree with other places that I see, like on our Bob is the oil guy, or if you do like a random internet search and just go to some random board like a Camaro or some other type of board, you'll see other people saying comments that are similar. I know this is a small sample size. I know these are comments just coming from my videos, but I feel like based on my somewhat research across the internet, that the oil does in fact work, that it does in fact work as advertised. But again, two caveats that I think I've seen based on the comments and what I've been reading is that one caveat is that be careful. If you have a very dirty engine, you could end up causing some problems, such as going into filter bypass, clogging up a catalytic converter. I haven't heard anything worse than that, but that doesn't mean anything worse than that can't happen. And the second caveat is that if you have an already very clean engine, you're likely not to get any benefit from this restore and protect. But with that said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed putting this one here together because it helps me understand you guys, and you guys can really see in one place how all of you guys really get together and come up with different ideas to put together in this one video. And also, just again, thanks a lot for the response. I think it was a good response, and more Valvoline Restore and Protect videos are on the way.